just to see you today. A super special good morning. Nothing's gonna get in our way. And there's an open window to my heart, sending all this love right through and out to you. 'Cause it's a great day. Let's make some music this morning, something that we're all gonna sing. A new song just for this morning. Happiness is now happening, and there's a sweet melodic harmony shining through my soul and up and out to you. 'Cause it's a great day. We can be anything we want to be. Open our minds and make it so. Knowing the truth of possibility will light the way we choose to go. What do you think? What do you say? Isn't it great? This is the day. Isn't it true? What we can do when a positive thought meets a loving feeling, intention starts to grow. A positive thought meets a loving feeling, intention starts to flow. It's such a lovely good morning, happy just to see you today. A super Sunday good morning, nothing's gonna get in our way. And there's an open window to my heart, sending all this love right through and out to you. 'Cause it's a great, yes, it's a great, it's simply a great day.
I have a story to tell you today. A story about Bera. Bera is the queen of winter. She's from Scotland, and she's a one-eyed giantess with dark blue skin. And her eye is so keen, it's like an eagle eye. She can see everywhere, far away, even in the back row, even online. She can see it all with that one eye. And she had teeth like little rusty pegs, orange rusty teeth. And her hair was as white as hard frost upon an aspen. She's also known as the Kalach. The Kalach. A name that is translated literally into English from Gaelic as a veiled one. Bera is not merely the goddess of winter, but also the mother of all the gods and goddesses in Scotland. And although she is a creator goddess, she was the type of deity that ruled with a harsh coldness. Cold, intense, gives a chill through the body. And her reign is undisputed during winter. And even when her subjects start to rebel against her, she'll just nip that in the bud. As a matter of fact, any shoots of spring, she'll just trample them down. Pretty terrible, huh? Well, it is said that the Queen of Winter seeks a hero. Perhaps it might be you. Because it's said that if she finds this hero, or shero, and she receives the love of this hero or shero, she will be transformed into a beautiful, loving, warm goddess. And I wonder, perhaps you might have a queen of winter in your life. Perhaps you have somebody that you spurn, or you hate, or you despise. They have this coldness to them. It could be a parent or a family member, or maybe it's a condition that you're spurning. And would you be willing to step into that role of the hero or shero? Would you be willing to love that which seems so terrible? Because if you do, then that is the symbol of transformation. That is the essence of transformation. Because once you do, that whole cold, harsh winter has underneath it seeds that have been waiting to sprout. As soon as you love that which is unlovable, the frost fades away and the seeds come into bloom and the gifts are revealed. Beira is not an opponent of spring. She is spring itself, just veiled. Her possession of the one eye symbolizes her ability to see beyond the duality and into the oneness of all beings. So I wonder if you're willing to take that on. Are you willing to be in the space of oneness instead of in the space of duality? Can you give up the fear, the hatred, the spurning? Can you let it go? We have our book of the month. It's by Joseph Campbell, Thou Art That. And it's a book of his collected works. They actually, when I read the intro, when he passed away, he had a whole bunch of things that were unpublished. And so this is some of his unpublished material. And they published it, obviously. Now it's published. What he says in the book is the experience of mystery comes not from expecting it, but through yielding all your programs. Because your programs are based on fear. Drop them, and the radiance comes. Can you give it up? Are you willing to give up that which you hate, that which you're pushing against, that which you're angry at? Are you willing to give it up? Ernest Holmes, our founder of Centers for Spiritual Living, said that if we would come to the universal wholeness, we must approach it through the law of its own nature. This perception is always an inner light. For the individual can use only such knowledge as he or she individually possesses. We can do and understand this through this mythology. Beira is a story I told to you because it's not Scotland's story, it's our story. And how do we choose to use it? Joseph Campbell says mythology is a system of images that endows the mind and sentiments with a sense of participation in a field of meaning. Life does not have one absolutely fixed meaning. So it's not just important for us anymore to emphasize history or the religion, the faith tradition. This is what we always do because this is what we've always done. When that happens, it robs the stories of their relevance for today. So I'm inviting you to take on the stories today as your story, to think about what's going on in your life and to see if you can make what I'm saying apply to you in a way that supports you. Because I know that oftentimes religions, families, organizations, parents, they say, this is how we've always done it. It's kind of like Fiddler on the Roof, Tradition, tradition. We've always done it this way. And what's important is that there is some ground of jumping off, but that there's a fluidity and a flexibility to embrace that tradition in a way that supports all of us, in a way that helps us blossom and grow, and not in a way that keeps us stagnant and stomps us out. Ernest Holmes said, "No one can travel a new road except for ourselves. So much that we decide that life is for us and not against us. And turning from everything that denies this will take us into the journey into the promised land." Beira is not against anything. It's by embracing that thing and loving that thing that we discover the seeds that help us blossom and grow. I was reminded of a great book that I had read by Mitch Albom, Tuesdays with Morrie. And what I love about this is Mitch becomes friends with his college professor, and his college professor, turns out, this is a true story, he has ALS. Now, ALS is Lou Gehrig's disease, and what it does is it pretty much, all of your neurological systems eventually break down and you die from it. It's a really slow and difficult and painful death. And Morrie, his professor, has ALS. And so every Tuesday, he goes to meet with Morrie to have discussions about life, to gain his wisdom. This man who is suffering from so much and his life is slowly leaving him. And the book is about what can he gift? What can he tell Mitch? And Mitch is so interested in the fruit of this brilliant professor that he wants to eat of it and partake and really enjoy it. And so after he had met with him and after his professor passes away, he puts together this book, Tuesdays with Morrie. And one of the best ideas about how to live life came from that book. He said, give out love often and let love come in. Live a fully conscious, compassionate, and loving life. Death does end a life, but it cannot end a relationship. All the love that you created in your relationship continues on forever. Devote yourself to loving others. Devote yourself to the community around you. So I'd like you to just take a minute and look around at the community around you. Look around at the people. Now, there's people in this room, they've been here for, well, not here, but they've been around for 20 years. And there's people in this room, they're here for the very first time. Now, this is your family. And it's a very diverse, eclectic family coming from all different backgrounds and histories. And the question is, who are you going to be with your family? Some people in this room have been displaced from their families. This is the only place they get. Some people in this room brought their whole families here today. But this is what community is about. And you get to choose how you're going to be in it. You get to choose how you're going to be in this community and then the community of the human family? How are you going to be? Maya Angelou said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." One thing I believe is that way before any of us chose to incarnate, we knew who we were. As a matter of fact, we still know who we are deep down inside. Imagine, before you were born, the excitement of taking on this journey called life. Imagine this idea of embodying the holy expression of all that is and bringing it forth into this planet. Imagine having an opportunity to fully shine and then forgetting it all and then coming here so you can remember why you came here. Everything here in this life is here to help us. So my question to you is, who have you come here to be? What did you want to experience? How do you wish to express yourself? Ernest Holmes did a sermon by the sea. It's one of his most famous lectures that he ever did. And in it, he says, everything that lives proclaims the glory of God. There is one spirit in which we live, one mind in which we think, one body in which we're a part, and one light that light every man and woman's pathway. In our book of the month, Joseph Campbell says, just think of it. We have come forth from this earth of ours, and the earth itself came from a galaxy. And the galaxy was just a condensation of atoms gathered in space. And that star stuff birthed us. That star stuff is here now in this room. Is it any wonder that we speak about, that we talk about, that we think about the light? Because we are indeed made of star stuff. The philosopher Alan Watts said, the earth is peopling as apple trees apple. People are produced from earth as apples from an apple tree. We're like the organs, the expressions of the earth. We're the sensing organs of the earth, and we have it right here within us. I love the idea of metaphor, and Joseph Campbell is king of metaphor. And he said the function of metaphor is it allows us to make the journey that we couldn't otherwise make. So we have these two seemingly non-connected items. And because we get this and we get this, we're able to make the leap in between them and understand things at a deeper level than we ever could before. He says it's a fundamental, simple, and great mystical realization. And in this sense, I want to invite you to identify yourself with consciousness, to see if you can grasp that you are consciousness itself. Joseph Campbell said, think of the electric lights in the room. Here we have electric lights in the room. You can say the lights, plural, are on. Or you can say the light, singular, is on. These are two ways of saying the exact same thing. But the first way is speaking about the vehicle of the light. And the second thing is talking about the light itself. So if one of these light bulbs burns out, and we have, the building manager, let's say, goes to change the light, he wouldn't go like, oh my God, this was the light of all lights. I can't believe it's burned out. What are we going to do? He would just take out the light bulb, replace it, and put a new light bulb in. Because it's not the vehicle, it's the light itself that is the important thing. And we each are vehicles, our bodies are vehicles of consciousness to express itself forth on this planet. What is important is the illumination, not the bulb. The consciousness would not be there if the bulb were not be there. But it's the consciousness that's significant. Your consciousness is what is significant here. Ernest Holmes said, spirituality may be defined as an atmosphere of good, the realization of God. It does not and cannot borrow its light from another. It springs from within, coming from the wellspring of self-existence. It is a revelation of the self to the self. One's own at-one-ment with reality. Atonement is at-one-ment. One's own atonement with reality. Are you connecting to that? Do you realize who you are? Do you realize how important you are? Do you realize that this is your journey? The mystery is your mystery. There's a story in a old French. There's an old French story, and I mean this is like antique French. So I'm going to say this, and it's kind of Latin-y French. So for you French experts out there, I just want you to know the story is called "Qu'est del Sang Graal," and it epitomizes our spirit, the true spirit of what we would call the Western mind. It tells of a day when the knights of Arthur's court gathered in the banquet hall, waiting for dinner to be served. It was a custom that no meal could be served until an adventure had come to pass. Fortunately, in those days, adventure came to pass a lot, so it was good for them. They were eating quite often. And on this present occasion, the Holy Grail appeared. Now, the Holy Grail was covered with a samite cloth. And it appeared, hung in the air a moment, and disappeared. Now, everybody was like beyond themselves. They were so excited. Oh my God, the Holy Grail. I saw the Holy Grail. It was covered with a cloth. We all saw it. It was there. Gawain, the nephew of King Arthur, he rose and he suggested a vow to everyone present. He said, I propose that we all set forth right now in a quest to behold the Grail unveiled. And so it was. Everybody agreed. We are going on this quest to find the Grail and unveil it. And each person decided that they weren't going to go, they decided that they weren't going to go forth in a group. They were going to go on their own unique individual path. As a matter of fact, each would enter the forest at a point he or she had chosen, the place where it was darkest. As a matter of fact, the place where there was no path. And there was no path because if there was a path, it would have been somebody else's path. They were going to go into the darkness in a place that nobody else had gone before. And there's a yearning to find that Grail, that quest, going into the darkness, into the mystery, into the unknown. A yearning to find the Holy Grail and unveil it. Now, this is our yearning, an unprecedented yearning, a yearning for something that has never been seen in this world. Now, what is it? What has never yet been seen? What has never yet been seen is your own unprecedented life completely fulfilled. That is the Holy Grail. Your life, your fulfillment of your truth in your life has yet to fully be brought into being. You are the Holy Grail. You are the mystery of all being. You are the veiled one. And it is your challenge, your life's adventure to experience the mystery that you are, to fully be in awe and wonder and fully express and experience the light that you are, to find it, to discover it, to unveil it, and to allow it to shine. You are the mystical realization that mystics talk about, that poets sing about, that dreamers dream about. It's all in you. And so my challenge to you is to learn to love yourself the way you are and as you are not. To become a better human, because it is your charge to discover that greatness within you. I challenge you to accept responsibility for this world. That you have co-created it. And that each and every one of us is responsible for what comes next. I challenge you to learn that the power and the presence of the one beloved one is who you are at the core of your being. That you see it and feel it without a doubt. That you know who you are when you walk into a room, that you are the light, and you bring it forth so that others may have permission to shine their light. What does the world need today? It needs you. And so I ask you again, who have you come here to be? What did you want to experience? How do you wish to express yourself? Because the great adventure has begun. You are the mystery. You are the Holy Grail. And let's reveal that with each other right here and now. And so it is. Thank you. And let's pray. And so I know that there is this great creator that created all the star stuff in the universe, the exquisite sparkle and radiance. It created everything. It is the inner, splendiferous reflection of itself. And it came here to express itself as a consciousness of life on this planet, right here and right now, to up-level, to open, to receive the gifts of its own self, sharing and giving and loving every aspect of its being. And so I know and claim today that Beira has been kissed, and the fruits of her truth are now free to be unthawed. The gifts of recognizing the beauty in everything, in every moment, is now revealed to each and every one of us, and that we are here to surrender and allow the beauty to unfold our lives in a way that is a blessing for all. And so I know that each and every person here is a hero and a shero on their own journey, uniquely, divinely inspired, uplifted by that one infinite great creator that sees and knows its I amness in each and every person. I am that I am. I am holy. I am holy. I am the mystery. I am the Holy Grail. I am the place of the mystery that is revealed to a greater degree. And so I just celebrate the joy of that revelation today, knowing it is done beautifully, brilliantly, sacredly. And for that, I'm grateful. And so I release this prayer knowing that it's already done, that God is the full-on expression that we are right here. And we're here now ready to sparkle and to be. And so it is.